Use of copper metals in the Indian subcontinent dates back to the Neolithic, with it reaching the island of Sri Lanka in the 6th or 5th century BCE. The use of copper alloying comes much later, with its possible first use in statues being the Yaksha figure in the 4th century CE, although this is highly scrutinized. The Devi Tara serves as a good example of Sri Lankan bronze casting, despite its questionable origins.
Behind me is the bronze gilt statue of the Bodhisattva Tara, found in Sri Lanka, then known as Ceylon by its governor Robert Brownrigg in 1820, before being given to the British Museum by his wife a decade after its acquisition. It was found in the east coast of the island near the cities of Chola and Batticaloa, but not much else about its acquisition is known. The statue itself is 142 centimeters tall, posed in the Bhanga style with its hips shifted, as well as the right hand in the Varuda Mudra gesture of bestowing a boon, styles commonly associated with its possible chronological timing of the 7th and 8th century Anuradhapura kingdom in Sri Lanka. After its linking with the Bodhisattva Tara herself through iconographic links with figures found in Kernagala as well as the Sigiriya paintings, it was described as one of the finest statues found in southern Asia, which really points out the robustness and the supposed beauty of this statue.
The Tara image is easy to discuss, solid cast and gilded as well. These are very common in the statuary canon of South Asia. The medieval Sri Lankan text, the Sariputra, warns that the creation of hollow statues will have dire consequences, suggesting that there was a spiritual reason for the solid casting preference. The knowledge of how solid cast bronzes were created is mostly gained from ethnographic evidence, specifically the village of Swamimalai in Tamil Nadu. As you might have noticed, this is not in Sri Lanka, but Sri Lankan bronzes are also cast in the exact same way according to both topological analyses of images as well as historical text. The aforementioned Sariputra is based on South Indian sources.
The main method used to construct these bronze statues is called the lost wax method. This is because the main central mold is made using a wax figurine. Historically, the wax has been made out of beeswax. After the production of the wax figure, it is placed within multiple layers of clay, commonly 3. Afterwards, the mold is placed into the hearth. The mold is surrounded by multiple layers of cowpats in order to equally distribute the heat and ensure that the wax figure inside is melted evenly. Afterwards, the mold is placed into the hearth vertically. The mouth of the mold is pointed upwards. The molten bronze is poured in the mouth, and a wick covered in oil is used above the mouth in order to ensure the bronze metal does not oxidize before being cast. Post-casting, the excess metal is chipped off using post-casting tools such as chisels. You'll notice that the Buddhist Tara statue is gilded. This is somewhat unique in South Asian statuary. The way this is produced is through a mercury amalgam being placed upon the finished bronze statue, before being burnished, revealing the gilded color.
The origin of the statue has been heavily scrutinized. Despite its association with Sri Lanka, there are some questioning the validity of it being locally produced. The cities of Batticaloa and Trincomalee were both trading settlements during the Chola periods, due to their positions on rivers and coasts, and it's completely possible that the statue itself perhaps arrived on the island on one of these merchant vessels. Stylistically, Buddhist robe design in Sri Lanka tends to have folds, whereas Tara has smooth robes hanging off her waist. Furthermore, the lead isotope analysis suggests that the Tara sculpture belongs to a group of sculptures from the mainland, due to the lack of leaded copper in Sri Lanka. Of course, there's the issue of what a Mahayana artifact is doing on a Theravadan island. There were smaller sects of Mahayana on the island, yet the statue seems commissioned by elite Mahayana leaders rather than religious minorities. The closest image we have to the British Museum Devi Tara is a similar one found in the Dong Duong Monastery in Vietnam under a Champa Mahayana leadership. On the other hand, To state the island was completely empty of Mahayana Buddhists is a lie, and it's likely that a cult may have formed around the bodhisattvas Avalokiteshvara and his consort Tara as protectors of sailors. Considering the centrality of Sri Lanka in the Indian Ocean trade system, it makes sense the interest of such statuary for merchants living in Sri Lanka. Furthermore, analysis of Indian bronzes showcases that there was tin being imported as far as Thailand, notably rich in tin. Perhaps as a center of trade, Sri Lankan bronze workers had access to an increased amount of foreign tin, enabling them to cast on the island. The Devi Tara is both a marvel of bronze casting and either a sign of religious diversity within Sri Lanka or a representation of the expansive trade network which was centralized around the Jeweled Isle. Regardless, the importance of this bronze in the understanding of Sri Lanka's position in the greater Buddhist world is undeniable.